My name's Ryan, and you're watching That Random Geeky Guy. Well, hi everyone. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. Now, it's a bit of an interesting one, to be honest. It's probably, if not, the most important video I think I've ever made. Now, that's quite a bold claim. My reason for that is, as you can see from the title, this is all about making sure you don't get scammed in the lead up to the festive period, where people are buying gifts. You might be buying a PC for a loved one, for a youngster in your house, or your significant other. And basically, something was brought to my attention. You might not know this, but all of the builds that I do, I'm either building them on behalf of somebody else, or I sell them on. I just built them for the joy of the channel and the enjoyment of building them, and I just sell them on at either a small loss or for cost. It's not about building PCs to make money. And interestingly, I met a great chap a few weeks back, and his two children. He'd come to buy the briefcase PC that I built. The link is in the video description if you wanted to check that out. And he'd come to buy that for one of his sons, and he brought to my attention this PC or a number of PCs that he'd seen on eBay, which were available to buy with really kind of in-your-face taglines like ultra fast and all these sort of bits and pieces, where people were obviously trying to pitch them with some great pictures that weren't really true to life for what people were getting, and essentially trying to push these PCs on people as ultra fast gaming PCs. You probably have seen the adverts. You've got things like Fortnite and PUBG all plastered all over them, all this sort of stuff. But what really frustrated me about these, and the reason why I'm stood in front of you today to actually do this video, is the spec of these PCs was absolutely horrendous, especially to be calling them ultra-fast PCs. So before I go any further, I guess there's two things I want to kind of highlight. Number one, I actually do think this video is really important, and if there's anything that you've got to add to it, stick it in the comment section below. But please share this video with anybody you think might be buying a PC for a little one or their loved one or whatever it might be in the lead up to the festive periods, and make sure they understand what it is that they're buying. The second thing is, you've probably noticed I've got a load of PC components in front of me. Now, the reason for that is recently we've been doing a lot of budget builds, and actually I'm going to do a budget build today as part of this video and give you a great example as to what is wrong with these listings on eBay. So what I'm actually going to do now is let's just jump over to a screenshot from my phone, and I'm going to show you one of these listings and talk about exactly what is wrong. Okay, so you'll see at the top I have just searched for gaming PC, and the very first result is this. Come up as a sponsored result, and you'll notice, look, fast gaming PC computer bundle, Intel quad-core i5, 16 gig, 1 terabyte Windows, and the big thing on the end was the GT710. So we go down into the listing here. You can see all of their descriptions, built with used and brand new parts. And again, at the top here, we've got that 2 gigabyte GT710. So for those of you that know specs, a GT710 is going to be absolutely awful. There's your Fortnite logo right in the middle. Take a note of the picture of the monitor. And as we scroll down through, you've got DDR3 RAM, 16 gigs, so to be fair, that's good, but DDR3 means we're probably seeing a second, third gen, possibly a fourth gen i5, but probably second or third gen. No description on which generation it actually is, but again, you've got that GT710. And you've got a gig as a 1 terabyte games library. But I say, the marketing is all around ultra-fast gaming PC. And I think, look, this is the big misleading part, is using terminology like that. When people are seeing this, it's just not fair, and it's essentially a scam. The other thing you'll notice is it's a 19-inch monitor. Looking at the image you see there, that's not a 19-inch monitor. The likelihood is you're going to be getting an ex-office Dell square monitor. Okay, so those of you who are out there who are kind of into this, you'll see straight away, or you'll see through that advert, you know, saying ultra fast gaming PC and then putting a GT 710 graphics card in there with DDR3 and probably a second or third gen CPU, giving pictures of what looks like a 22-inch, 24-inch widescreen monitor, but it actually comes with a 19-inch, which is probably an ex-office monitor. It's really, really, well, it's a scam, in all honesty. They're presenting something that just isn't what you're getting. And my fear is that there's going to be people out there who's going to see this and go, oh, cool, ultra-fast gaming PC, £300, sounds perfect, and it comes with everything I need, until they open it up and set it up and then realise that actually it's horrific and it isn't going to achieve the things that they want them to achieve. So that's kind of the idea behind this video. Is, like I said, I've got a gaming PC in front of me that I'm going to build today. This is actually an order for somebody that I'm putting together for them. Just like the advert that you see on eBay, it's made of a mix of used and new parts. The difference being is that this is actually going to be viable for 1080p gaming. You know, at a decent FPS, and it's going to do what it says on the tin. Now, I guess before we actually get into the build, let me be really frank and honest with you. The total build cost for this was £387, okay? So it's a little bit more than the one that you see on eBay. Now, whether or not that's a fair comparison isn't really the question I'm asking today. The question that I want to kind of show is that ultra-fast and the specifications, especially the GPU that's coming with that advert on eBay, those two things don't go together. That's the scam. You know, they're saying ultra fast. It just isn't. If you're looking to get a viable 1080p gaming machine, including a monitor, including a keyboard, including a mouse, including a headset, all those sort of bits and pieces, you know, a budget of 400 is more realistic, and make sure that you stay really clear to what the components actually are. So let's get into building this, and we're going to talk through what we've got. The only other thing I want to say is there's a lot of bad weather where I am at the minute, so if you can hear a lot of rain or whatever it may be in the background, I don't know if it's being picked up on the mic. Please accept my apologies. But okay, let's talk about specification in comparison to what we've just seen. So first things first, let's start with memory. So as a boot drive, we've gone with a WD Green SSD. Real simple, they're not massively expensive, but it will give it a quick boot time. It's not DRAMless, so it has got a cache in there as well. Hard drive, actually only one of these two is going in. I don't know why I put two in front of me, but it's just a 7200 speed, 500 gig, and it'll be for a games library. Real simple, really easy. We'll get to the cooler bits later, but excuse the pun, here's a different cooler bit. So this is just an RGB case fan pack. The reason I've included this is actually you could get your budget down lower if you didn't, but one of the things about those adverts on eBay to kind of catch your eye is they make them all kind of RGB and stand out, which obviously is going to attract customers. But you can add that for a very low price with something like this. Power supply, we've got a VS450 from Corsair, 450 watt, perfectly viable for what we're building here. Down to my left here is I've used this brand before, so it's Ions, and it's an 08 case. I've used the 010 before, but it turns out that I think a lot of people did videos with that generation of case, and as a result, you just can't get them anywhere. They've just sold out everywhere. So I've gone with this one actually that's slightly cheaper, but a very, very similar build. Other than that, behind here we've got the motherboards, which is a Gigabyte offering. It's not in the original box, hence why I've left the box behind here, and it is used, but it's a H110. And it's going to work well with our 6th generation i5 that's going into this. So I mentioned 6th generation because we have got going into it DDR4 RAM, and you've got a level of upgrade path versus the previous units that are being displayed through eBay. Now let's talk about that processor. So the processor that's going in is an i5 6500s. Again, I've used that before in budget builds. It's a great quad-core CPU, which is perfectly fine for 1080p gaming. Just move this out of the way. Other than that, from a cost-saving perspective, the cooler is just a stock Intel cooler. It does the job, and it's going to be fine for this build. The final piece, which is the important piece, and the real standout from that dodgy scam advert on eBay, is the GPU. So GT710, 2 gig, which just is going to be horrific, to a GTX 960 4 gig, which is going to be perfectly fine for 1080p gaming. If you're playing Fortnite, if you're playing Rocket League, if you're playing games like that, you know, even at medium to high settings, this is going to be perfectly fine and is going to do the job. And then finally, just here, we've got a 22-inch 1080p 75Hz monitor. It's a used monitor, but it fits in with what we want to do. And we've got some peripherals here in terms of that RGB stuff that, again, that they want to see these days. With a headset and a keyboard and mouse combo. It is an end-brain keyboard, but it is about that kind of budget approach. So these are all the components, that's what's going into it. What we'll do now is we'll start to get this all prepared, ready to build, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so there we go. The PC is put together. I think it looks all right, actually, for a budget build. We'll get it turned on in just a second. Actually, let's just get the peel done, shall we? So, get this lovely bit of peel here off this tempered glass side panel. Just so you're aware as well, if you are looking for a cheap PC case with a tempered glass side panel, this, which is the 08 version of the ONZ case, the case that we've used in the past. This is like £27. Really good case. Anyway, I go off topic a little bit. So I hope this video kind of makes sense to people. The whole point of me doing this video is to express that I don't want people to be taken advantage of as we lead up into the festive season when people are buying others gifts. And there are people or companies or whoever it might be out there on the likes of eBay who are doing everything they can to scam people out of their hard-earned money to buy what they say is an ultra-fast gaming PC, which just isn't the case. Please make sure you share this video with people. I want people to understand and know what's going on out there. And not only that as well, if you're out there as a PC enthusiast, if you're not already, make sure you're supporting your friends and family when they make their purchases. You know, a bit of advice can go a really long way. Anyway, let's, I guess without further ado, let's get this powered on for the first time. So I haven't bothered with the monitor and all these other bits and pieces. This isn't a PC build video, really. But let's just turn on the power supply first and see if we get some life. Are you ready? Well, there we go. And it comes to life. Straight in with a bit of yellowy colour there. So let's see if we can... there we go. Now it actually matches that eBay advert. We've got some unicorn vomit going on there. Filling the PC with some beautiful, beautiful light. But look, there you go. This is all on. I won't bore you with this video any further. If you do want to know about some of the parts I've used in this build, I will stick some links in the video description below. They are Amazon associate links, so there's a bit of a kickback for the channel if you do check those out. I do recommend the case. It's really cheap, quite easy to build in. And actually the fan pack, if you do want RGB, this is a great solution to getting just that. They're actually not too bad of fans. You see they're remote as opposed to software. but there's a controller in the back, and actually they're quite bright LEDs. But as I say, if you want to check out any of the stuff that's in this build that's new, I'll stick it in the link in the video description. But like I said, this is all about making sure that people are aware of those scams that are out there. I, for one, will be looking out for them and making sure that I actually report anything like that, because I just don't think it's fair, and I don't want to see people taken advantage of. If you've got any comments or questions at all about this build, about these sort of things that we see on eBay and places like that, stick them in the comment section below. If I don't answer, I'm sure that the community will as well. If you like this video and you think it's important and it's important to share with people, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share the video. If you dislike it for any reason, thumbs down. All feedback is always welcomed. Other than that, head on over to thatrandomgeekyguy.com. Check out the Founder Edition t-shirts to support the channel. Thank you to all of those who've already purchased one. It means a huge amount to me. Other than that, guys, I shall see you in the next video.